Connecting to cloud server. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just using it to find someone special.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're abusing the power in a way. Yeah, this is Kafka, exactly like a Kafka thing, you know. Anyway, never mind. Farrell, Axel. Oh, Axel is here.
Hello.
Ini Sir Bayu ya ini ya. Mr. Bayu. Dia hilang lagi dia. Shan, are you pre-recorded? Yeah, are you pre-recorded, Shan? Huh?
Are you pre-recorded, Chan?
I'm pre-recorded.
You can do that ya. Ini ada dua lagi. Oh, ini masih ada sebelahnya. Let me just check it out. The other people. All right, those are the one who hasn't got. This is Wilbert. I can see Wilbert.
Where's Will?
All right, sir.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah.
No, it's a reunion. Okay. Maybe we should start now. Yeah. I'll just go to show you some of the. How do I share the screen? I already have it here, but okay, share screen. All right. I prepared some of. This is sketching as visual sketching. Actually, sketching as sketching as visual journal. I'm missing an S there, typo. Well, it doesn't. It makes sense anyway. Sketching a visual journal can be, you know, it can always work. So, I've been thinking lately that part of the learning is to have some fun, really, because honestly, life is too short, and when this situation comes in, it's so unexpected and changes so many things. It changes us so profoundly that we have to adapt every time. I find it quite intriguing that it affects me as a person, really, not just as a teacher, as a person, as somebody who is relating to other people. So these are something that I put in for today, because today I think I'll just make it a relaxed situation where, because I'm not going to teach anything difficult, or I think drawing is never difficult. It's the very first language that we learn, really. Before you can say things properly, then you start drawing. I think I do that anyway. I draw first before I say ma or pa. So my first drawing was a tortoise. Oh, funny that I had a tortoise today. Okay, yes, let's just play this thing here and see. I think I got the music on. Ini kalau saya ini sambil jalan kita ngomong juga ada voice-nya ya? Alright, okay. I thought it was just voice from me. Alright, okay. Yeah, well, these are just compilation of scraps. I'll call them scrap sketches because these are the ones that doesn't really make into my final. If I do a painting or drawing, I usually do a sketch first. I find it quite interesting because of the immediacy of the lines, of the tones and everything, and that evokes a lot of feelings when I look at it. That I can taste, I can smell, I can see things, at that moment. So sketches is a very strong emotional tool, if you like, for artists to when you have an artist block or something, then you look through it and you probably get over it because you start looking and thinking, oh, that's the situation I was in when I was drawing this, It's just totally immersive in a way. So recently I've been dabbling into Procreate, which is quite a fun thing to do. And I'm treating it very much like a sketch pad, really. Exactly like a sketch pad. I don't try to make a finished look to it because these are the things that I will carry on into actual painting or actual drawing. So I use them as a sketch because I can do undo it. I can make a lot of amendments. So yeah, I think it's run for 8 minutes. Mostly here I put some portraits. I did some paintings of a drawing of landscape as well, but that will be too long to show today. So I'll just cut it to 8 minutes. The very basic of it, because I love portraits. I love expressions. I love the stillness sometimes of a sitter unaware that the person is being drawn. And that's kind of like giving this moment of the person immersing in him or herself, and that's kind of a thing that I really like to capture. So again, these are the tools that I think that all of you are familiar with, because it's good to understand the basics and techniques of traditional tool, but nowadays apps like Procreate, Autodesk, and many other more can actually simulate and mimic very well the traditional media without the fuss, without the mess. Because like if you're doing oil paint, for instance, when you wash the brush, it's actually very toxic because it's usually using turpentine or other mineral spirits, and it's kind of like very dangerous. But with Procreate or other apps, electronic apps, software, you can mimic the same look to it without the danger of ruining yourself or environment or what have you. So yeah, these are the things that I posted this in IG as well. But the thing with this is these are like a study that I carry on to make the real one. The physical drawing or the physical painting of it is I usually did not finish it like in a go. It usually takes me a while, a lot of changes. Just like when I draw on these apps as well, I never sort of like make any preliminary sketches, which is really, I have them all in my mind, and I kind of like make correction as I go, as to the direction of the stare. For instance, if you're doing portrait, there is a perspective applying to it. If you look carefully, a lot of young artists starting doing portraits or anything or any subject, always missing this part that everything is in perspective. You have to understand this. You have to understand that the way you see things depends very much on your binocular vision, really, and those are very much restricted to perspective. So a good drawing, sometimes I'm still learning as well. So yeah, the fun part about art is that you never stop, you never stop learning. You always find something interesting to do, something interesting to make, something interesting to portray. Even if it's the same subject all over again, there's always some details that you can explore. All right, I think that's the end of it. Yeah, I think that's the end of it. Okay, now, oops, that's the end of it. Is it the end of it? Belum ya? I don't know. Alright, here's, nanti kita bisa zoom kemari kali ya. Alright, any apa ya? What suggestion? Not suggestion. Anything you want to say? Let's make it more interactive. Let's make it a.
Any comments?
Yeah, comment or whatever. Comment, or you want to order breakfast or something? You can do it through me. I'll call McDonald's. It's a 24-hour service. Anybody wants food here?
Burger King downstairs.
I'm very hungry. I'm a hungry person today.
Sir, how's your tortoise?
Oh, my tortoise is growing. Why you keep asking my tortoise? You have more interest in my tortoise in myself. That cannot be right.
Sir, you promised to show it to us, but then you never did.
It's too big. Let's not talk about tortoise today. Let's talk about drawing, all right? We're in the drawing thing.
You said your first drawing was the tortoise. That's why.
Yeah,
draw tortoise.
I did make a tortoise. And it's just one of those things in life that you cannot explain. Sometimes when some things come to you, you never understand why, and then later on in life you start to have a good sense of what it is all about. But it always comes in the right times, So that's kind of a little bit of philosophical crap thing. But we're learning something. I mean, in today's world, we cannot just learn technicality. We got to be. I always say to myself and to people that I know that we need to become human beings rather than human doings. What we're doing now is just being a human doings, learning this, learning that. But the machine, I mean, artificial intelligence are way smarter than us. The only way we can beat it is not turning ourselves into machine, but into actual human being. People with kindness, passion, and so on, all this non-nominal values, intrinsic value that cannot be replicated by, well, not yet anyway, by the intelligence other than human. Okay. Because this course, let's get back to this essence of this thing, okay? Drawing, right? Sketching. So in the first semester and the first year, you will get sketching. First semester, right? First semester, you get sketching for design. And the second semester, you get drawing for design. Now, a lot of people keep asking me, what is the difference between sketching and drawings? All right, some people come up with their own definition. Sketching is much more like, I like my own personal definition to it. Sketching, it has to be quick. It has to be just ideas, a shorthand version of a drawing. All right, sketching can be a drawing, but drawing sometimes need to be more like, if you look at hyper-realistic work of art, you won't say that it's a sketch. It is absolutely not a sketch. It's a drawing. It's tremendously detailed. That's a drawing. So drawing to me is much more prepared. You can do it like a sketch, but you can also prepare it in a very much the technicalities and so on. Okay. All right, sketching. Wait, where's my other thing? Now, the thing that is most essential in sketching is the spontaneity that when you see a situation, if you want to sketch, say if you join an urban sketcher, or if you join a life drawing class, there's so many life drawing on Zoom now that you can actually sign up for free, and they actually have actual models, and that is a very good source to learn from. So this situation actually opens up a never before opportunity. You know, I've never seen people will do a Zoom model live sketch on Zoom. A lot of my friends already join it, and it's a very good thing to just be involved with. In a way, get yourself to be known, and get to know other people from the other part of the world, other artists, which are very good. Okay. What do I need to talk about today? Any ideas, Miss Dila? Do you want me to talk about what?
Sorry, it's still mute.
Huh? Mute?
Okay.
Oh, what are we going to talk about, Miss Dila? Typography thing?
Yeah, I think the basic thing for first year is I would say time management. Yeah, overall, I'm talking about the overall strategies being an art and design students.
Okay.
So yeah, so you guys see great works of Sir Alex. It's really I'm impressed with your works, Sir Alex.
Thank you.
Good. And yeah, I mean, it takes like persistence to do your passion. So guys, if you're in the art and design school, maybe you see, so far you see the result, yeah. But honestly, lots of work behind that. That might be the things that we all have to remember, that so many works behind. Do you have some sketches, Sir Alex?
Yeah, I do actually, but I didn't bring them all here. It's in the, oh, hang on. I think I mixed some picture, but I haven't compiled them yet. These are just like it's just like an opener thing. So I'll probably do some sketch straight on the wall or on the easel later on, just to explain some very basic stuff, because I've actually revised a lot of the teaching materials. Not revised, but the way it has to be delivered is online, so I need to do more of a show and tell kind of a thing, instead of just like, you know, I could probably show you videos and you could probably learn from it, but it's better that I show straight away. So as to what sketching is all about. For instance, I'm very technical when it comes to doing sketching, although that it looks very relaxed, but I do pay attention to materials and so on. The first thing that you need to understand when you want to have a good result in your artwork is the quality of the materials. There's no second there's no second opinion when you ask to get the best material. Do so. If you have the chance, if you have the means to get the best material, then do so. There's so many.
Maybe you can show us like the tools that you do, Sir Alex, the tools that you have, so the students will get take a look what
Right. Okay. I have in my table usually because
what tools they need to create their sketch or drawing.
Okay.
Because I think that's quite interesting. Get to know the right tools.
Yeah, I think the students have seen. The other student might have seen this little black bag that I always bring in the classroom.
Taufik bisa help ini nggak ya?
Ini
Alex,
bisa.
can you?
All right, here's some, maybe I can just, okay, and what if I just show the...
Yeah, that's close enough, sir.
That's close enough, that's
yeah,
good.
Yeah, we can
All
see.
right. I usually...
Magic tools.
The magic tools. These are not magic.
Behind your magic brain and your twisted.
I have a way of showing you how. The first thing that before you start drawing with pencil is how to sharpen the pencils. All right. Now I used to like sharpen my pencil using mechanical pencil, but when you sharpen your pencil using a mechanical sharpener, you only get certain amount of lead. That will limit the amount of strokes you can do with a pencil. All right. The very first year when I was in my art school, I spent about a whole semester learning how to sharpen a pencil. So it's something that I think essential to artists, especially if you're using traditional tool. If you, I mean, I know some of this trade, some of this art is already a bygone era, but it's also interesting to know that these are the way things are done. If you look at the great artworks of Rembrandt, I've seen this, who is this, ASN Gdnm 24400? You got this background of a museum there, right? Now, if you've been to a museum, you look closely, inspect every brushstrokes, you will see that these artists pay very, very particular attention to the details. They never skip a detail. And one particular aspect of this is the preparedness of the artist in doing so. So I'm not asking all of you to become an artist, or some of you might venture into that, but it's a hard work. It's a hard work, and the satisfaction is very seldom financial, but it's very much a self-indulgence thing. You know, you get satisfaction that is not coming from money, but from other things, from other elements in your life. Okay. All right, these pencil tools, di mana tadi ya? Okay, pencil.
6B or 2B or
I recently purchased pencil yang 9Bs, but I think sebenarnya yang kayak pencil 9Bs itu cuman marketing trick doang ya. I mean, it's not actually
the same, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually the same. Once you try it, it does. It only had slight darkness to it. Hang on. All right. I'm trying to make a good coordination on this.
Bayu, Sir Alex perlu Taufik, Bayu.
Enggak, ini dikeluarin aja biar gampang daripada gini.
Taufik. Mana Taufik? Nggak di situ ya?
Ada.
Hold on, let me call Taufik.
Attentif dia. Fik, di mana ada tukang bakso yang enak, Fik?
Di bawah. That's why you leave it X. That's a good.
Bisa nggak? Bentar, saya ambil lagi. Ini peralatannya ada beberapa ya. Saya pakai misalnya pensil yang paling basic itu pensil ya. Oh, yeah. Pencil, eraser, yang gitu-gitulah. Very basic tool. So recently and also I don't use Conte ya. Conte itu hitam banget ya. Unless you have I go for something like ini ya. Ini kotor banget ya. Jadi kalau habis ini, makanya saya pakainya bajunya selalu hitam karena ini ya. For a reason, because if you're using charcoal and wearing a white clothes, that might not be a good idea. So
we are wearing black always.
Yeah,
because we love dark jokes.
All dark-minded people, right? the deepest abyss of your mind is all dark and very bad. All right. Any questions so far? I don't know. What do you want to ask? What do you want to see today? I cannot. All right. Let me just tell you the difference between the pencil. Why did I sharpen it like this? Oh, okay. Why did I sharpen it like that compared to say a blunt pencil? It's not nothing. Yeah. This one here is not sharpened. This one is a sepia pencil. Can you see? Can you see that? All right. With a pencil like this, you get a more coverage. Maybe the best way itu saya langsung kasih sini aja Pak Wisono yang susah untuk kelihatannya. Ini aja. You see the paper, right? Okay, this is the paper. Ini bisa kemana ya? So I got a good coverage with this. Yeah, very simple. Also, all my pencil are sharpened that way. So I got a good coverage. And the way I handle the pencil is like you fencing. Kayak main anggar ya. That's a good way of handling it. Instead of like doing it like this, with this, you tend to have a very restrictive movement when you try to do a swift strokes. But with a hold like this, you can do a very variety of strokes without any restriction whatsoever. All right, it depends on if you're using mechanical pencil, which I find quite amusing. Some people actually do a whole large scale, super hyper realistic drawing using mechanical pencils. Now that takes a lot of patience. I don't have patience or lifetime that long, so I try to find a way of doing it for faster. So sketching is essentially a quick way of taking visual notes, as opposed to drawing, for instance. Drawing can be very, very detailed, but sketching is always ideas, always concepts. So when you're into graphic design, then a good thing about it is that you need to learn, for instance, to how to come up with a nice composition for your design or your typography. If you know the shape of it, then you can memorize it quickly and just make an impression of the type, for instance, instead of before you actually get into drawing them. Somebody got a Bob Ross in the background.
There are some questions, Sir Alex.
Right.
You want to read it, or let me read it for you?
Oh, okay.
Like,
Sorry.
yeah, there is
students.
students doing some question on the chat room.
Are you using Canson? All right. Sorry. Hi, sir. Oh, okay. Okay. Hi, sir. All right. Okay. This is the thing about me is that I always feel this session is like when I'm in class. So are you using Canson? No, I don't use I use Canson. Yes, I do. Multimedia Canson. Not multimedia. Canson fine surface. It's a smooth Canson. Don't use the Canson multimedia because it has a very the surface of it, the grain of the paper is very much very regular. I want something irregular so you get that organic look to your drawing. Okay. Are we going to learn everything from the basic, like for sketching, drawing, etc.? Yes, basically you'll be learning from the basic. Now there are how many forms already? Who asked this question? Shannon Victoria. All right, the basic. Do you know any basic yet, Shannon? What are the basics? How many basic shapes? Nah. Hello.
A bit. Shannon.
A bit.
Shannon reply a bit.
A bit. All right. There are 4 basic shapes. Okay. Let me just get into the drawing board. Ini bisa ke sini nggak sebentar? All right. This is a staple. So you have hole. You have cubes. All right. And sphere. 1, 2, 3. What about the other one? Cylinder. So those are the basic shapes. 4. Everything consists of this. All right. In between, you can make into organic shape, combining them into organic shape. You can combine this with that, for instance. If you combine this with here, then you get that, right? Well, this is actually a three-dimensional thing. I'm trying to move it. This is wrong. All right. Anyway, so cylindrical, for instance, your arm, your legs, the whole torso. The whole torso is cylindrical. You can make a very. This is a very bad kind of like. I'm trying to make a hand here, but it's distorted so much. Mungkin ini aja kali ya. Bisa ke sini nggak? Ah, ini lebih bagus. Alright, okay. Kelihatan ya ini. Ini saya sering kali mencoret ya. Nah, ini yang harusnya bisa dicoret kan, tapi saya sering coret yang di dalam. That wasn't my fault. Alright, let's switch to this aja deh, lebih gampang ya. So you got basic shape, right? The very basic shape could be, I mean, if I were to draw the cylinder, for instance, this is, alright, cylindrical shape, right? Coming from the viewing angle depends that there's a perspective that goes into it. Ada yang itu ya? Ada spidol merah nggak? Sama itu. Redo this again. Now there are so many tutorials on YouTube that, especially during this pandemic time. But the thing is that you pick the one that actually suits to your level. Don't go and look into masters doing artwork that it either inspire you or put you down completely. So look for something that is fun to you to watch. You learn without any pressure, because I think in art, if you put a lot of pressure in art, then the outcome will be very much constrained. So look it up in YouTube or any other learning medium that you can, something according to your own level. Yeah. So the first form, I think, the pyramids, the cone shape. All right, I'm doing the cone from this direction. Oh, that's the cone, right? In the first semester, you'll be learning all this very basic shape. All right, the cone and the cube. Okay, I'm putting them into a perspective. Again, these are the things that is artists learn about, is the way to portray this in perspective. Right, 1, 2, and then sphere. Right, a sphere. I'm not very good at drawing a round object, but that should suffice as a. So you got that 1, 2, 3, and the other one is the cylinder. Now you can make a lot of things just by looking at this very basic shape. The first thing that you can think about is, when you look at this, is you probably think about, maybe I can make into something like, what do you think that shape like that, right? If you look into, it could become a loudspeaker, for instance. Right? No, that shape is different. That is the shape of things, right? It can be a loudspeaker. It can be what else? The very obvious thing is if you just wipe it off like that, you become that person from the Tin Can thing, right? In the Wizard of Oz thing, I think. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that converts to this very basic shape, right? The first thing in the first year you'll be learning this, plus the technique of rendering these objects in 3D. So you'll be learning about cross-hatching, a very simple one. If you look at to understand a little bit of cross-hatching, you can just take a look at your uang aja, uang rupiah itu yang merah atau yang hijau. Those are cross-hatching drawings if you look closely, but those are done in print. In tactile printing, we're very different. But those cross-hatching is the oldest way of, well, not oldest, but the way of trying.
Terima kasih banyak, Mbak Desi. Saya mau nanya satu, ya. So, yang Anda visualkan itu menarik, sangat menarik. Di tengah pandemi,
Mita suaranya, ntar.
Menggelegar.
Yoi.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, okay. Any questions so far? While I'm doing the drawing, why don't you get involved? Get a small piece of paper, try to draw a basic shape and try to associate how many shapes you can associate with a certain shape. For instance, like I said, how many shapes you can associate with cylinder? How many shapes you can combine together to make an object? Can we do that? No? No, sir, I'm too lazy. No, sir, saya lagi enak, saya lagi PW. Lu kok pada diem sih? Wah, udah pada tidur.
Yes, sir, I'm so lazy, sir.
No, I think they're takjub with your drawing. It's okay.
That's very honest. Ya, siapa yang bilang I'm too lazy? That's very honest. I really like honesty in such a way, but that wouldn't get you a good grade. So you be careful with that. Don't say that when I give you assignments. Sir, I'm too lazy to do it. Okay, I'll just say to you back, I'm too lazy to grade you. Okay, so you get out of here. Okay.
Sir Alex.
Yes.
In semester 1, we learn to make a shape later.
Shape, yeah. We learn shape. We learn how to shape. All usually we do a still life drawing, compose a still life drawing. Still life drawing is very easy. It's not complicated. Like I said, you associate every shape and forms to make a composition and learn the technique of rendering. I'm saying rendering, shading. You know, those are the things. Realism. Realism is, I know some of you might think that realism is too difficult, but it's not as much difficult if you think of it as you learn. If you only look at the result, if you look at the result, and usually I think that we search for something that is already a masterpiece, and that either put us down or inspire us. There's only two ways. So usually it just put us down and saying, ya gila dia bisa gitu, gua apanya dia gitu loh. Yeah. So please look for something, because learning, drawing is always learning. Okay. Don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to your own achievement. Compare yourself to how you learn. Okay. Yes. Basic shape. Let's just get back to the core of the question. We learn basic shape, basics, rendering, pen and ink, charcoal and pencils. All right, very basic, nothing complicated yet. 1 point perspective. All right. Shanika, are you pre-recorded? Any other question here? I'm currently doing some finishing touches with my current sketch. Who is this? Adrian? I can't draw. Vanessa, oh my God, I can't draw. this is epic. I can't draw. I think I have a very epic statement coming from this graphic design thing. No, you don't need to be able to draw, I think. You can just imagine visually in your head. I mean, the drawing is just another way. It's like speaking a language. You can speak English, you can speak Japanese, you can speak, it's a means of communication. So I'd say that if you can't draw, meaning that you cannot really draw, but you can draw, it's just not as good. You start comparing, who are you comparing with when you draw? But because I think everybody can draw. It's if you look at the cavemen, the very first cave painting, we'll have that in the Eastern Art Review. Will you teach us anatomy? Stephanie Tanardi. Anatomy, oh yes, anatomy is another feat of itself. If you go to art school, you spend about 4 years just learning in academic drawing, 4 years just learning the upper posterior, which means just this part here, 4 years. And then another 4 years spending lower extremity. And then on top of that, you only learn the écorché, which means écorché is like a flayed anatomy. Flayed anatomy means your dermis is taken away, so you look inside the anatomy. Kalau di Indonesia apa ya, studi apa, anatomi plastis ya. So anatomy is like this, right? You got up. I'm very bad at anatomy. Okay, let me just do it in the fashionable way. Right? The first year you'll probably spend 4 years learning this. Those are academic courses. Academic courses, and I'm saying is like if you go to learn academic way, learning how to draw properly, and then usually realistic. So 4 years in there, another 4 years spending here, and a specialty in doing portraiture or facial expression, and you have gestural and so on. We will learn anatomy, but we will not learn anatomy in such a way that you have to memorize it. Again, when you draw, it's very much, when you draw a sketch, it's very much the power of observation. If you look at the guy named, I think all of you know, I'm very impressed with this guy, Kim Jong-gi. You must have heard about him. He did shows of live drawings without any references because not of his photographic memory, but he actually observed and remember. He observed an object and remember in his mind. So he has a very broad visual vocabulary. Now you can build this up daily, on a daily basis. So for instance, if you drive a car, for instance, you start observing your car. You don't have to do it consciously, but unconsciously. You start observing, for instance, a steering wheel. Every day you observe a steering wheel, and then one day you'll just be able to draw a steering wheel, for instance, from a very oblique angle. Okay, I'm not very good at this, but if you observe a steering wheel so much, then you'll be able to draw a steering wheel from an oblique angle, from any angle. Now that is the process that Kim Jong-gi is doing. So he has a lot of power to observe. He's a kind of like a very analytical person. I actually joined one of his courses. That cost me $200 just to watch him draw 3 hours. But it's a very worth it thing, because not so much of the skill of his drawing, but the way that he could conjure up a scene just out of a flick without any sketches, all on his mind, all in his mind. And some people say that he has photographic memory, that he is actually like a autistic, visually autistic savant, but he's not. He learned it the hard way. He memorized things. Now he used a lot of perspective in his drawing. He always started with box. If you look at his, I think he's got some available videos on YouTube under the name Super Annie. He uses this box like this. Now, if you look at the box from this angle, like that, it looks like this. But if you twist it that angle, it gives you a different sense of a box. It's still a box, but it's treated differently. This is how he kind of like construct his drawing. Okay, yeah. So we do learn a bit of anatomy, but not as much of anatomy as like. So can you repeat what materials we need for your class or Trujillo art class in general? All right, we need pencils, right? Pencils, 4Bs, 2Bs, 4Bs, okay? I usually skip the 2Bs because 2Bs it's not a good grade for me. 3Bs or 3, 4, 5, 6Bs. Those are the pencils. If you are prone to use mechanical pencil, please, you can use mechanical pencil, but please try to use regular pencil. Sir, I have a sketching pencil, good for you. What is a sketching pencil? A bit, Shannon Victoria. What is your sketching pencil? Can you show it to me, your sketching pencil? Is charcoal a must? No, it's not, but it pays to just to learn a little bit. Charcoal has a very good quality. I'll show you later what I mean. It's a bit of a mess, but you know, this is the time to learn. What do you classify as basic? You have a very political way of asking a questions. How do you classify as basic? That is a very diplomatic way. You should be a diplomat. What do you classify as basic? What I classify as basic is, yes, basic, you know, basic, as a base, fundamentals. Those are the things. Nice shape, sir. All right, thank you, Shanika. I don't know whether you mean it or not. Nice shape. What shapes? What shapes are you looking at, Shanika? Shaped like a friend. Feliz. Shaped like a friend. All right, all your friends come in different shapes, right? Some triangular, some kind of like unorganic, some looks alien. I don't have sketchbook yet, sir. Get one. Or go and rob a bank to buy one or something, you know. It's not difficult to get a sketchbook. I can't draw. This still, again, I can't draw. I'm currently doing some, I can't draw. Vanessa, where's Vanessa? Which one is Vanessa? I'll be seeing you. If you cannot draw, then you make, oh, there's another, sorry, I didn't look at the other screen. There's two screens, all right. All right, sorry. Okay. Yeah, okay, you can't draw. Draw abstract, can? Abstract, oh my God. We are encouraged to commit thefts. Oh my God. I have a sketching pencil. Who is this?
Sorry. One of them is
Rifanika. What do you mean we are encouraged to commit theft? I have some klepto artists here. Beware. Luckily, we don't have any more physical class. Otherwise, everybody will be missing something. Hi, Mr. Josephine. Raisa Hernandez. What size is the sketchbook? Sir said to rob a bank. Yes, rob a bank. I didn't ask you to rob a bank. It's just it was just an idea. If you want to do it, it's on your own risk. You are responsible for your own life. Don't blame it on me. Draw abstract, can. Abstract. Only when you understand the basic, then you can do abstraction. Who is this?
Ryan.
All right, I'm going to switch off the phone. Okay. Yeah, abstract. Yes. When you say abstract, does it mean decorative or ornamental? Because when you do something like misalnya, ini mic going here. I think if I didn't bring my iPad, it would be a lot better to draw it on iPad than explain it straight away, share the screen. That would be a lot better. Well, it could be ornamental. Are you saying abstract like ornamental or decorative? Because those can be abstract. But no, we don't. We try not to do abstract because there is a syllabus that I have to follow. When you start to learn the basic of drawings, you really have to understand the basic of drawing. Not not to shame yourself when people ask you on the street one day, for instance, do you know what are the basic shapes? And you went blank. Now that is a no-no. At least you understand the basic. There are 4 basic shapes consisting of such and such, and you can say it in a convincing manner. Hi, Joannes, who is this? Thanks for the idea, sir. What idea? Oh, robbing a bank.
Rob a bank.
Oh.
I think that's the idea.
Jesus, you should all be in prison or something. You're all full of criminal activity mind, yeah. Especially Shanika, yeah. Shan, have you stole something?
Someone's heart.
Huh? You stole what?
A heart.
A heart. Oh my God, that's deep. I stole someone's heart. That's evil. That's absolute darkness. I like it. Good. Are we gonna learn
Hi,
different
sir.
art
What's going
styles?
on?
Who is this?
It's
Are we going
Shanika. I heard I have
Shanika.
been searched for.
Yes, you
Bentar ya,
have to.
sir. Saya lagi pasang lampu LED biar saya hits, anjay. Oke. Okay, BRB, I'm gonna have to pantek, bye.
Ini apa sih, lu pre-recorded ya lu? Yo. What if they need it for surgery? James, your game mode. Who is playing games? Siapa yang main games ini? Kalau main game lihat grafiknya deh. Kalau kalian suka game, lihat grafiknya. Terus bayangin gimana gue bisa bikin grafik sebagus itu. Gitu loh. Jadi bermanfaat, gak cuma having fun-nya doang. Because all these people that making games itu, they think a lot for making a good game. How much storage would you recommend for an iPad? I think you can get 128 is a bit too little, but you can get a 256, because if you're running a program like Procreate, Adobe Sketch or Adobe Fresco and some of the programs, they actually have to subscribe to Adobe, which means that you have to do a regular subscription, and it sucks. So I always go for something free. I'm a freebie person, who isn't anyway. Can't afford an iPad? No, it's okay. You can't afford an iPad. Give us iPad, sir. We're poor. Jesus, what do you think I am? Yayasan apa? Emang nama saya yayasan?
Giveaway, sir. Giveaway iPad.
Giveaway iPad. All right. Yes, Miss Dila, we have to start thinking how are we going to amass iPads to give away to these poor, lovely students of us. Yes, give away iPad, please. Out mula. Okay. Next week I give away iPad. One iPad for. Oh well. I won't promise anything, but I try to. Sir, give away Procreate. Okay, Procreate itu 145.000 ya kayaknya ya. But it's tapi nanti I think a lot of you will be doing a lot of pasti ya kayaknya ya Miss ya. Later on the course, nanti semester berapa tuh banyak juga yang pakai digital kan ya.
Yeah, it started like third semester lah.
Yeah, exactly.
Semester 1 and 2 still do manual.
Still, yeah. But I try to infuse a little bit of digitality in it, because I find it quite interesting. You know, you don't have to be messy with digital. I'll show you what messy means when I get to that board and try to
Even
draw.
our iPad stolen by TS letter.
Yeah, it's dangerous to have iPads. It's becoming a commodity, udah jadi komoditas ini. Ini, are you sure this is a class of graphic designers, not thefts or thieves? Ini, remember kamu waktu masuk BINUS kan ada mesti ngisi surat berkelakuan baik, nggak ada yang maling kan di sini? Nggak pakai narkoba, cuman maling. sama gilanya, ya nggak? Ya, oke. Anyway, ya udah. Apa lagi yang mau ditanyakan lagi? Tanya deh, mumpung saya bisa jawab daripada nanti saya nggak bisa jawab kan susah. Ada yang mau ditanyakan lagi? Huh? No? No? So serious? Come on, this is not rocket science. This is art, okay?
It's asking to, do you prefer iPad or any other tablets for drawing? Basically, maybe he's asking what's good tablet for drawing.
My first iPad that I have was an iPad Air. So a lot of my drawings, I start just using my finger on it. So I don't have enough money. I don't have a rich father or a rich family to start with. So I have an iPad Air. I work from it using because with iPad and Apple Pencil is that the Procreate, you can actually zoom in and use your fingers just to start doing digital painting or doing a finger painting. So tablet, laptop is okay to start digital painting. Yes, tablet, laptop. Laptop, if you can get a laptop buat gaming lebih bagus lagi ya. So every time you play video games, what's the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to designing the assets? Oh, okay. Oh, this is an interesting question. You should be on a in a late semester for this. So every time you play, every time I play video games, what's the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to designing the assets? I think the game that I like to play is the one that make me feel absorbed at the very first time I turn on the game. I feel absorbed into it. That means it's a good interactivity. But if I don't feel that sense at all, then I erase, wipe, uninstall the game. You know, like my students here, a lot of them, I was starting playing PUBG, which is very interesting. PUBG is an interesting game. I mean, it has a lot of followers, but look at the graphics. Look at all this. This idea behind the game. I mean, there's not complication in it. There's only people given a certain amount of weapons and start shooting each other and try to earn some coins, which is very much like life, really. It's just much more sarcastic and much more real in the game anyway. So yes, that's what I'm looking at. PUBG, yes, PUBG, yes. There are other games that I play too. I mean, Survival has a lot of games to talk about. I mean, he's a master of games. Tablet, okay. Digital painting. We can just use drawing pad, right, for the future semester? Yes, you can use drawing pad. The iPad that I mentioned is just an option. There's don't let the means to justify your Iya, maksudnya itu ya, jangan nggak punya iPad ya nggak apa-apa. Kebetulan saya ada ya saya pakai. Kalau kebetulan saya nemu atau saya nyolong ya saya pakai, ya kan? Ya mulai sekarang kalian belajarlah untuk menyolong. Jadi sarjana, lulusnya kamu jadi Master of C, Master of Colong. atau Bachelor of Colong, BOC, Bachelor of Colong. The material for graphic design will be given later. Yes, I will give you later. Not just the material list. I will not give you the material. Bisa bangkrut nanti saya. You buy your own material, okay? Di Topet banyak kok. Udah, itu aja ya. Udahlah, pulang deh. Yuk, selesaikan. Siapa yang mau makan? Okay. Let me just explain something about this pencil here. Ada 4 basic shape. Mestinya tadi pakai apa ya? Di sini aja ya, di board aja deh. Di board sini. Saya ke board lagi. Kita ke board ini sini. Kita ke board, kembali ke laptop. Ya. Udah ini ya. Oke. Apalagi yang pertama kalian pelajari nanti, the first thing you learn is this, okay? The second thing is the rendering, which means like cross-hatching, scribbling, right? And pointillism. These are the most. And then you have other ways of doing that, apalagi ya, cross-hatching, and then I don't know what you call this broken hatches. And you have multi-directional hatching, right? These are done with pen and ink or a ink pen, a fixed width ink pen, fixed width, not width, okay? Fixed width means nibnya bisa 0,1. 0,2, okay. Those are the pen yang kayak gini kan. It's like this, okay. As opposed to the one that you use for if you purchase a pen that looks like this. Yeah. This has a variable width, meaning that you can make a line that is going from very soft, and then if you press harder, you get a very thick line. Yeah, these are different kind of nibs. All right, these are the things that you'll be learning using pen and ink. Plus, you learn how to use values. Values, the term values refers to, if I were to make a drawing of some or a composition, then in that composition it has shadows, it has highlights, it has middle tones, and so on and so on. So I'll be needing to understand values of it, right? From the darkest, let's imagine this being the darkest, all right, lightest, all right, so you have that kind of like, let's just do 3 and there's too many in there. Usually you have kind of a scale for values because depending on your drawing. So you'll be learning about this, the value, the tones. The reason why you do black and white, a lot of people always ask me, why can't we do color? All right, black and white is, with drawing, you don't actually see colors, you see values, you see tones, you don't see colors. If I say to you, if I were to draw a paprika, for instance, here's a good shape, good old paprika shape, right? Yeah, misalnya saya bikin gambar paprika, and I say this is red, misalnya, and then the other one, satu lagi paprika, sini, and I say this one is yellow. Without putting the actual colors in it, can you determine the values of it? Lu bisa nggak misalnya, apa yang bikin, apakah merah itu lebih gelap, apakah kuning itu lebih terang? You see my point? No? Are you missing my point? So you come back to values, okay? You're coming back to the balance of values. If you look at a color painting and you think a color drawing or color photograph, and it gives you pleasant feeling when you look at it, that means it has achieved a good balance of harmony in terms of value and tones. All right. Now the values we're talking about is the dark and the light. The dark and the light quality of the artwork, okay? we're not talking about whether it has bright colors. We're talking about values. You always come back to this thing. If you learn photography later on, you see the black and white photography works on this scale. For instance, Ansel Adams developed a scale of gray tones. Each gray tones denote a certain values to certain colors only. That gray tone cannot belong to, say, for instance, if you take a picture of a red apple, the tone will belong to another value level, as, for instance, a yellow apple or a yellow lemon, for instance. So these are the things that we will be learning. That's why we stick with the black and white. Now, if you understand values and tone, colors is always only a matter of additional, colors always come later, okay? Colors is always affected by light, okay? But the values and the tones can be affected by light because it translates into black and white, right? Is it understood? Is it confusing? Is it time to go home? Mas buy the digital gitu dong for drawing nanti. Gak usah buy, kalau bisa colong kamu colong. Tadi kan saya udah kasih suggestion. Kenapa kamu harus bersihin buying? Ya nggak Pak Taufik? Saya pakai masker, Pak Taufik takut kalau saya nggak pakai masker. Saya kasih COVID lagi. Alright, I'm wearing a mask. Right, okay. So always be nggak usah paksain beli digital. Kalau misalnya kamu masih jual rumah, jual harta untuk beli satu iPad buat apa? Nyusahin orang sih. Pakai pensil aja. Saya juga pensilnya banyak. Kamu punya uang 100.000, kamu bisa beli pensil banyak. Utilize that, okay? So every time you play video games, udah ini tadi. Carrie, sir, we can play PUBG. Who is that? Carrie, oh, Kalista, yes. What level are you, Kalista? Diamond ya? Ace ya? Crown? Don't ask me to play with crown player lah. I look like a fool. If you think Derwent is expensive, then start off with a cheaper one. Yes, Derwent is very expensive. Well, I don't really like Derwent. Beli Lira aja juga udah bagus. What you need is to get the feel of drawing using pencil first. Brands can come later. Like when you're comfortable with your own drawing. Yes, exactly. Okay. We totally see it, sir. Sir, roasted my Derwent is frail. Oh, yes. Derwent itu dulu bagus ya. Sekarang udah ini. I think Derwent is. I prefer Staedtler atau apa Faber-Castell ya. Faber-Castell masih oke. Or this core pencil kayak gimana ya? Ini kalau saya dapetin ini kelihatan nggak nih? This is the core pencil. I got this in mana ya? Toko mana? Artemedia ada jual. Jadi nggak ada kayak pensil doang, nggak ada ininya. Ini mesti set up untuk drawing apa ya gimana ya bagus. Aku pakai itu aja kali ya. Kita nggak punya overhead gitu ya. Mana ya?
Ada Lex, tapi nggak sekarang.
Kapan?
Nanti kalau udah kelas baru dikasih.
Oh, yang kamera.
Sorry.
Oke. Gimana ya? Ini jadi kalau pakai pensil ini, yang misalnya ada beberapa pensil yang kamu bisa pakai, itu nggak usah harus digital completely ya. I mean, itu cuma tools ya. Always think about it as tools. It's not a compulsory thing. Kalau lu punya pencil, if you can make a good pencil drawing, why not? Gitu loh. Cuman kan saya kasih kamu lihat satu opsi bahwa if you have a good basic understanding of techniques, then you can just use anything for drawing. I mean, if I were given, kalau saya dikasih sapu juga suruh gambar, ya saya pakai sapu itu gambar gitu loh. Kalau terpaksa ya saya pakai sapu itu gambar, atau mungkin jadi lebih bagus kali ya. Apalagi ya pertanyaannya ya, ini cuman saya juga udah nggak tahu nih apa ya. Brands, okay. The last thing is to the size of the paper that you'll be working on is A3, A4. the size of sketchbooks, I will require to keep a sketchbook for you to keep a sketchbook for the whole semester, okay? The more sketchbook you have, the better. Usually people just buy sketchbook and then, you know, just leave them empty, but try to fill it up. The drawing that I show you and the video that I show you for it's a compilation of my sketches. They come, you know, I don't fill up all my sketchbooks, but I fill some of it, and I have so many sketchbooks, but I will fulfill filling it. So just need sketchbook and pencil the materials. Yeah, that's the thing ya. Sketchbook, pencil sama ini aja. Itu ada beberapa ada juga buku referensi ya. I think the reference book is available online in Binus library. It's Victoria Fabel, I think. Drawing with pencil, Victoria, basic drawing with pencil, Victoria Fabel. But if you don't get it, it's fine. I'll be providing I will provide with the example and so on. Yeah. Apalagi. Anything else you want to? What else did I missed? Apa Miss Dila ada lagi nggak ya? Bantuin dong.
I think they're good. They got very good input from you, sir. I think they enjoy watching you drawing and explaining things, right, guys?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I think they're having fun. So just give claps to Sir Alex. Yay! So you will have him on your sketch for drawing classes. I don't really remember what class. What's the term for the class right now? I think not drawing one and drawing. Sketch for drawing and sketch for design. Yeah.
Sketching for design and drawing for design. Yeah.
Yeah. Those two classes you will have fun with him. So guys.
I really hope that each of you come up with your best, because the class is not about me, it's about you, all of you, really. So if you come up with the best, then I mean, I've looked at this photography room. This works really excellent. Some students come up with really good ideas. So
your drawing classroom also excellent. I think that's one of the students' favorite class, right?
It's more like a room for ini buat biasanya murid-murid mengungsi ke sana.
Yeah.
Karena nggak ada jendela, nggak tahu
ngumpet.
Ngumpet, ya.
Yeah, secluded.
Sarjana ngumpet. Bachelor of ngumpet.
So please, they will enjoy the class.
Yeah, I hope they enjoy every class here, because it comes as an entirety. So I hope that I don't know, this learning thing is really needs some adjustment to be familiar with. I'm usually seeing students. I like interaction, so this is a very much virtual interaction. So we'll make the best out of it. Yeah, we'll make the best out of it. Sketching. Iya kan, sketching for design is not ini ya, nggak terlalu susah. Jangan diambil susahnya. Kalau yang mau susah tuh ambil math. Math itu susah. Saya nggak pernah ngerti. But I do grasp the ininya ya, rasionalitasnya bisa. Cuman caranya saya nggak tahu. Ya. Anyway, so jadi enjoy your what time we should end sih?
I think we will end when you're starving. So I guess you are starving.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm starving. It's hard to show. It's actually quite difficult to show the drawing, because if I draw on that, I'll be facing your back. Probably next when we start the course, I'll use iPad instead to draw. I'm not saying that I'm going for digital. The way that I do, let me just explain this to you. The way that I do with digital art is I try to use that like I use a pencil, okay? Because in Procreate or in any other software, you have the ability to adjust your brush, your pencil to mimic traditional pencil. So just for the ease of showing you to draw, I'll probably just go for an iPad and then connect to share screen. That will be a lot better because and nanti ada mungkin kalau setupnya lebih itu bisa ada kamera overhead atau kamera dari samping lebih yang fix lebih itu kali ya. You can see what I mean because we still do traditional artwork, right? We have to do pen and ink, we have to do wash, we have to do.
Beli by you.
Udah ada di topik nanti.
Oh udah ya, yang
Yes,
kamera
we
dari
have
atas
the
itu.
lumen camera, ya.
Yes. Asik. Yeah, there will be a camera.
Alright, okay. So yeah, that will be a good thing to look into. Yeah. But in the meantime, saya rasa saya cukup lah. Saya udah lapar sekali nih.
Iya, thank you so much for Alex.
Yeah, thanks Alex.
Thank you ya. Ada pertanyaan lagi, silakan. Ini anak-anak ini kan nanti di semester 1 kan ya?
Yeah, they're freshman.
All right, okay. Yeah, I'll see you then. Okay, see you on the 14th, I think. 14 at 10 o'clock. I'll be seeing you for both class, Eastern Art plus sketching for design. Each of which we can just interconnect. Maybe you can start drawing apa kali Borobudur kayak apa gitu.
Straight Borobudur ya. All the basic shapes.
Sir Alex.
Betul.
Hi sir.
Halo.
Hi sir Alex.
Yes.
Sir Alex.
Yes.
Kita nanti tanggal 14 mulai kuliah semester 1.
Betul.
Oh, semester 1 itu tentang shape-shape gitu ya. Drawingnya.
Tentang shape begitu.
Tapi drawingnya pakai sketchbook atau
kalau saya
pakai apa?
Biasanya harusnya kamu punya. Saya sih rekomend lebih punya sketchbook deh.
Oh, pakai sketchbook yang
sketchbook yang A4 juga nggak apa-apa.
Di tab ya, Sir Alex. Aku punya yang di tab sketchbooknya, Sir.
Sketchbook di tab.
Di Microsoft Office.
Not the application.
Not the
an actual sketchbook.
Actual sketchbook. Physical sketchbook. You should have
yang beneran ya?
Iya.
Aku
kamu
punya,
bisa beli yang A4 juga boleh. Kalau kegedean, kalau mau yang lebih gede juga bisa. A3 juga bisa. But it's a very cumbersome thing to bring. So I'll stick with A4 or kalau A4 1 sama A5 1 lah. Yang A5 itu very loose. A4 is much more refined, but it always comes back to how you practice using your sketchbook. Owning them and practicing using it is a different thing. Aku bisa punya sketchbook 200 biji tapi isinya kosong buat apa? Ya kan? So
you can just sell it.
Yeah, so use it, beli.
Giveaway.
Yeah, I did one.
Saya mau dagang online boleh jual lagi. So use a sketchbook, get a sketchbook. The pencilnya bisa grade graphite yang 2B boleh lah. 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, 6B. Try to get the feel of each of the pencil, yeah. But the basic is that, and then plus eraser. There are two type of eraser. Ya, I haven't actually explained to you the kneaded eraser. Kamu mungkin udah pernah lihat ya. Saya suka pakai yang ini nih. Kneaded eraser ini bisa dipencet-pencet, bisa dibentuk, bisa di ini ya. Ya, agak jorok sih ini menurut tuh lihat tuh. Bisa macam-macam. This is kalau misalnya di Plaza Senayan ada Faber Castell, dia jual tuh kneaded eraser. Di TGA juga ada, di Arte Media juga jual, udah banyak sih. Online kamu cari aja namanya apa tulisannya gimana. Ini ya. Aduh. Oh yeah, somebody's singing. Nice voice. Kneaded eraser. 20.000 doang kok itu. Nggak ada yang mahal lah di pelajaran drawing. Kecuali harga diri kalian ya kalau dapat nilai jelek. Gitu aja sih. Ya. Jadi try not to get kalau lu fail di drawing, kamu nggak usah jadi orang deh. Beneran. Itu udah paling
sad, man.
Iya kan? Ada yang sampai fail berapa kali itu dulu tuh 6 kali. Iya, jadi you fail as a human being if you cannot draw. I'm not saying to you siapa yang nggak bisa draw tadi. I think the best thing is to never start your day with the word "I can't." All right, it's better that you start your day with the word "I'll try" or "I'll just do it." You know, because in the end of the day, you'll be the one that end up with nothing. Because if you say you can, then you really can. You know, jadi kayak ini ya. So please. Don't say you cannot draw. I think you can draw. It's just that you start comparing to others, and then you think my drawing sucks, so I can't draw. But that's not the case. Okay, so please. Hey, thank you for. That's yeah. Good to hear your voice.
Thank you, Sir Alex.
Thank you.